Hello and welcome back to Friday Minis. Now, on Wednesday, we took a look at gimbals, right? And in that context, we were talking about your video stabilization type of gimbals and how they actually work, how you should smooth good video with them. Today, however, we're going to be talking about gimbals in a generic sense, though I will be using, my video gimbal to explain some of the concepts to you. Here's the deal. Gimbal lock is a situation in which, well, you're using a gimbal and things kind of get nasty. Now, again, generally this does not apply to your video stabilization gimbals, but for example, if you're working in, say, 3D graphics, this might happen from time to time and things could get quite confusing. So let's take a look at why this happens and what's actually going on when, this is happening. Now, normally gimbal lock is shown using a 3D graphic, and that's not always very easy to understand. So what I'm going to do is, instead of using that to sort of visualize it, I'm going to actually use, well, the gimbal I have right here. Now, the idea is this. This gimbal is a 3-axis gimbal, so what I have are 3 motors, one at the back here, one at the side, as well as one below here, right at the handle. And all of these basically take charge to handle 1 degree of rotation. This is sort of your main gimbal, right? It holds up the other 2 motors. The second one is the one at the back, so it holds up just the last motor. And this one directly drives my phone itself. In conjunction, what happens is they allow my phone to basically point to any direction possible in our 3D space. So the idea is, well, they work together. If I want my phone to point up, this motor is the one that rotates and points it upwards. If I want my phone to sort of point to the side like that, well, it is now this motor that takes charge. Now, because of their construction, a very interesting phenomena can actually happen. Now, imagine what would happen if, well, firstly, I got my phone to roll until it was in roughly a position like this. Right? That's fine, right? That works. But what if now I wanted my phone to point downwards, right? So if I were to cheat and move the whole handle, well, I could sort of get it to point downwards. But if I only had the motors to do it, well, you'll find that I cannot actually do that. I cannot actually pull my phone to point downwards. And that is because there is no motor sort of here to do that for me. Where did that motor go, you ask? Well, when I rotated it to go like that, it's actually going down. See, that's what I'm holding with my hand right here. It's actually gone down until it's lined up with the motor at the bottom. So if I were to rotate this motor now, I create this sort of motion instead. The exact same kind of motion I would create if I were to rotate this other motor right below. So what this means is that I actually still have 3 motors. All 3 motors are still working. But because these 2 are now aligned, rotation of both of them actually mean the same thing. And that is why the definition of gimbal lock is that you've lost 1 axis of rotation. In this case, I haven't really lost anything, but well, I just have no motor to handle this sort of rotation because these 2 have ended up merging to doing the same thing. So yeah, that's basically what's known as a gimbal lock, when multiple different axes actually end up merging together, and because of that, well, you have now technically lost an axis. Now, so you may be wondering, how do we get out of this situation? Don't forget that in its normal state, my phone can actually point to any direction we want. And what that means is there actually is a valid combination of rotations that can get my phone to that particular direction. So recall what I wanted to do was to have my phone sort of in portrait mode but pointing down. Well, here's how you do it. Instead, this lower one needs to come out like that. And this allows you to make use of this last motor here to actually pitch my phone downwards. So yeah, there you go. Right, every combination is actually possible. It's just that if you sort of rotate in a wrong way to get to a certain state, then you're in trouble. So yeah, that has been gimbal lock. That's all there is for this particular episode of Friday Minis. I hope you've gained something useful today. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, you're watching 0612 TV with nerdfirst.net. Thank you very much for watching. If you like my work and are feeling generous, you can shoot me a one-time donation on PayPal or sign up for a recurring one on Patreon. Of course, you can simply like, comment, and subscribe. You know the deal. For more videos, links to my channel and a related playlist are on screen. Thank you for your support.